Welcome back. This is Usability Lecture Part 2. And we left off talking about page structure. So we were on this slide discussing placement and where users expected tools and navigation bars to be located. Now let's go on to discuss other aspects of navigation. So basically, your pages, web pages, should allow users to get where they want to go as seamlessly as possible. And in order to accomplish that, terms should be obvious. So terms on the navigation bar should be obvious. Drop-down menus should be noticeable. Maybe hovering over the navigation bar will allow for drop-down menus to immediately drop down instead of having to click on these different sections. Providing a search bar is incredibly helpful, and the navigation should tell users where they are at. So a web page title is extremely useful, almost necessary. Okay, so before we get to this slide, actually, when we're talking about home pages and making terms obvious and providing a search bar, I want to direct your attention to the website for Elemental Coffee, which is located in Oklahoma City. And when you start running your usability tests, you'll be asking your users to evaluate their general impression of the site's homepage. So homepages should be incredibly clear and thematic. So here I want you to consider the theme that the image here is trying to evoke. And I'd like to ask you if you think it works. What kind of tone is this website setting? Who do you think the intended users will be for this website? Who is this company trying to target, and who is this company trying to attract, not attack? So let's remind ourselves about what good home pages have. So good home pages have clear navigation, clear images, or clear imagery and logos, and the placement of the logo is where we expect it. There's a search bar, needless words are avoided, and overall the homepage resonates with the target audience. So as we think about this criteria, let's go back to that homepage. Let's look at the navigation. Is the navigation clear? You'll see it is, and like I said, if I hover over my mouse, drop-down menus appear for some of these. Who do you think this company is trying to attract? When you look more closely at the different pieces of information that the company offers. Is there a search bar? I see this icon here, so yes, I have that option to search products. The placement of the logo is where I expect it. Let's say you're asking your user to look for basic information like the company's hours of operation, the address, the telephone number. Perhaps you'd like to email them if you have some kind of question that you want to ask without calling them. So I will have to scroll down because I don't see that information above my fold. So let me scroll down, and I see that that's clearly accessible to me, the information that I'm looking for, and it's where I would expect it. I think most websites do have their address or hours of operation, especially address and phone numbers, contact information, at the bottom of the page. So I can learn what their hours of operation are, where they're located, their phone number. I see where I can contact them. So I don't see an email address, but I can actually click here and email them directly. Actually, I clicked on it and it didn't take me to an email option. So that's something that if I were trying to fix a design flaw, that would be something to consider. So overall, what are your impressions about Elemental Coffee's homepage? Let me know if it passes the test and meets the criteria that I've shared with you. Let's go back. So now we're going to look at web page navigation. So for all web pages, so not only the home page, you should see signposting. So once I'm on a page, I should be able to see the title of the specific page, have a visual marker of the page I'm on, so perhaps a button is lit up, and know the path I took to get to that page. So there's a trail. So the website itself is letting me know which pages I visited. And there should be uniformity. So when I click on something, the title of the button should match the title of the page I'm sent to. And this applies to all web pages. So the navigation bar, the placement of it should be uniform throughout. The logo should be located in the same spot throughout the entire website. I'd like for us to go to the College of Engineering website here and keep the criteria that we just covered in mind, but I also would like to pose a scenario and see how effective this website is. So let's look at a simple task on the College of Engineering website. And as a side note, I just want to let you know that overall, university websites are notoriously difficult to use because they often have to balance serving pre-existing students with recruiting new students and then showing off to donors. So when I look at the homepage of this website, who do you think comes out on top? So which user is this site primarily designed for? And just look at the people that are pictured on this homepage. And as I'm looking at the homepage, I'm going to conduct a informal think aloud model. So I'd like for you to notice that I am thinking out loud as I'm walking through this website and as I'm trying to perform a specific task. So I'm noticing the different options here the different pages that I might explore. I could learn more about the college itself, donors to the college, and I'm noticing the navigation that's laid out here. So let's say that I'm a freshman and I'm interested in aerospace engineering. So I want to find a course checklist for that. So I'm going to conduct a think aloud protocol as I try to find that checklist. And you decide for yourselves if I'm having to do excessive amount of thinking. So keep in mind Krug's advice that you don't want your user to think. You want them to think as minimally as possible, right? The information that you locate should be effortless. So I had to scroll down past the fold in order to reach the navigation here, the different options. So if I'm a freshman trying to locate that information, I'd look through these different options this is one of the first few times I'm on this site. It might take me a little bit to decide where I want to go, but eventually I'm going to find myself going to academics and programs. So I've clicked once. Now I see that this text has lit up because it's telling me this is where I went, so that's good. And there are several options here. So if I wasn't patient enough, I'd probably immediately click on undergrad programs before going to degree plans and flowcharts. So let's do that, because if I wasn't familiar with this site, that's what I would do. So as I scroll down here, I see the different degree programs that the School of Engineering, the College of Engineering offers. So remember, I wanted to find the checklist for aerospace engineers. So I'll click on this one. So that's click number 3. So I see I'm kind of skimming the information. It's giving me some information about the major. See that it could apply. Will that take me? So that's click number 4. It takes me to OU applications. Although I thought it wouldn't take me to where I needed to be, but I just clicked on it just in case. So it's telling me that I went to undergraduate here. I'll click on aerospace engineering again. So that takes me back. Okay, so now I see here as I'm scrolling down curriculum flow charts, aerospace engineering curriculum advising sheet. And I also see here the aerospace engineering standard PDF. So I'm wondering if both of these what kind of information I'll learn from both of these, but because I know I'm looking for the flowchart then, or the checklist, which they label a flowchart, I'll click on the standard one. So it took me, I think I counted 5 clicks in order to get here. And then it takes me to this pretty document, which in itself has its own design issues, we should say. I know that the intended users for this worksheet are engineers, so I know this is purposefully made up to look like this type of flowchart, so this type of circuitry. But I'm left wondering if a freshman who's interested in majoring in aerospace engineering, what would their impression be? Okay, so I'm going to go back and I'll point out that had I been I'm going to go back to the College of Engineering. So if you remember, I went to undergrad programs. But if I had been more patient, or more thorough, I should say, I could have clicked on degree plans and flowcharts. That would have been click 3, I believe. And then I would have thought about the dates. So again, if I'm a freshman starting in 2017, the most updated information isn't up yet, but I could still click on that one. So that's click number 4. And then Bachelor of Science of Aerospace Engineer is what I'm looking for. And it'll take me here. So it definitely is a process that takes more than 3 clicks, regardless of which route I take. But eventually I wind up here with this worksheet that poses its own challenges. So you decide what, if you were proposing to revise the College of Engineering website, what would your 3 main recommendations be? It's something for you to think about. Okay, so that's all I have for now. On slide 14 and 15, and I'll post this PowerPoint on Canvas without having to watch the video, but I just want to make you aware that 14 provides more information about web design, so you could provides an activity actually, so you can think further about the design process, and then just some other components of web design that you should keep in mind as you review websites and try to decide on one to use for Unit 4. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for listening.